What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel, and today we're going to be doing a Madden 23 related video, and this is just a topic that I feel like I have to cover at this point. Something that I found here on the internet, and credit goes out to other YouTubers and whatnot that have made videos, because I was curious. I was watching Angry Joe's review on Madden 23, and if you guys don't know who Angry Joe is, you should know him because he does a lot of great quote-unquote angry reviews of various games that come out. He gives his honest opinion, and he gave his opinion on Madden 23. It's quite a lengthy video. If you guys haven't checked that out, go check that video out. It does a good job of talking a lot about the negatives of Madden 23. But what I want to do in today's video is I want to take a look at this USA Today article, and I want to take a look at some of the details in this article that was around the time of John Madden's passing, and I want to take a look at that in relation to what's actually been going on with the Madden 23 reveal and the features that are within the game. So the first detail that I actually want to talk about here is that John Madden was not even the first choice for the Madden video game, and he was honestly actually pretty hesitant to begin with the Madden video game, and others were as well because of certain reservations that they had with what EA was trying to do when they first established Madden as a video game. So to start off with here, according to a story ESPN published in 2016, legendary coach and analyst John Madden was the third choice of EA's founder Trip Hawkins to be the pitchman of the game that eventually became Madden NFL. And so he was secondary choice, or third choice rather, to Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Montana, and then a former coach, Joe Kapp, who was the Cal Bears coach, Vikings and Patriots quarterback. So interesting that that they didn't go with Madden initially. And some of the other details here in this article regard the fact that that these other guys had some reservations about the game, and it specifically cites Montana not being involved because he had a conflicting endorsement deal. Cap wanted royalties. It had to do with payment structure and things like that, but it seems to allude to more than just that. I mean, it says specifically that's what it was, but ultimately it says that was the reservation. But really where things get interesting is where we also talk about the issues that we see with the game itself, and why Madden was hesitant to join up with EA and create this game in the first place. So that's one of the most interesting things. So it says originally the game was planned as being a 7-on-7 competition due to the limitations of computing back when it was being initially programmed. Madden, however, balked at the idea and wanted the game, if he was going to appear on its cover, to be as authentic as possible, which that statement in and of itself gives me a little bit of chills, because Madden nowadays is so far from authentic that I honestly think that John Madden might look down upon him being on the cover of what Madden 23 is going to be negatively. And I can't speak for that necessarily, but just based on this statement alone that Madden gave, if he was going to appear on the cover, it needed to be as authentic as possible. And we've gotten far, far away from Madden being an authentic football experience. And the statement of the game originally being planned as a 7-on-7 competition, yeah, they justify it by saying limitation of computing back then, but what's the limitation now? And ultimately this leads me to believe that they never intended for the football game to be a simulation style football game. They never intended for Madden to be a realistic football game. And that's why we've seen the shift away from a realistic football game to an arcade style football game that they can make extra money off through Ultimate Team and various modes like that. The article then here goes on to quote Madden as well: "If it wasn't real football, I didn't want my name on it." So he very clearly states that if it's not a real football game, he wants nothing to do with it. I wanted it to be real football, with the sideline, the numbers, the hash marks, everything had to be pro football. So unfortunately, we are not not in an era of pro football within Madden. I mean, we are so far away from actual simulation football. And so what we've seen so far from the beta as well, and the questions that I've gotten and the things that I've had answered, is that we're not getting much different gameplay than we got in Madden 22. I mean, a lot of the stuff is still the same, and you're going to still see a lot of the same issues. Possession catching is still going to be an issue. Dive tackling is still going to be an issue. Pretty much all they did was add 23 new animations to the game on the defensive side of the ball. So just to kind of reference that within the actual details of the game, they talk about field sense and they talk about the new hit everything engine, redefined defensive pursuit, new hit everything mechanics let you be more disruptive on defense, new animations branching technology in Madden 23 enables next gen hit sticks physics so you can perform mid-air knockouts, hit the pile to assist in tackles already in progress, blow up blocks, force turnovers, and stand up tackles. Well, the problem is that a lot of this is unrealistic to begin with. They're going too animation based, and from my understanding, what this means, like the actuality of what the hit everything engine is like 20 new additions to the animations that they have within the game. They've added like 20, 25, maybe 30 new animations to the game. I can't remember the exact number, and that's what they're giving us. And to be honest with you, I don't like seeing that that the new hit stick physics is something that we're specifically looking for. I mean, big hits are a rarity in the NFL anymore. You do get them occasionally, but they should be programmed to specific players. They should be programmed to players that meet certain requirements, and they should happen very rarely. Instead, we have hit sticking all the time, and we're emphasizing hit sticking this year in order to perform mid-air knockouts, tackles that are in progress, blowing up blocks, stuff like that that's been in the game before. I don't know why we're repackaging it as something new. But ultimately, what it comes down to is the hit sticking itself is probably unrealistic. And from what I hear, the hit sticking, the actual range of it is going to be bigger this year. So you're going to see a lot of players glitching to tackles and stuff like that, from my understanding, from what I'm seeing. I hope that that's not the case, but ultimately, I feel like it's necessary to make this video to draw the comparisons between what they're doing now, the fact that a lot of this stuff has already been in the game and is being repackaged, and the fact that a lot of it's still so unrealistic and does not represent authentic football as John Madden wanted to have his name on. If it wasn't real football, I didn't want my name on it, directly from John Madden. So it's kind of sad to see the state of where this game is right now, where it's going, and how all of this stuff is actually operating in tandem with itself. One more interesting thing that the article mentions here is about formations, plays, and playbooks. So one other unique aspect of the game is how the plays and formations users can call, execute, are taken directly from NFL playbooks. Madden sent a 1980 Oakland Raiders playbook to Hawkins and former EA producer Joe Ibarra. To elaborate on that, the game's producers sought to mimic the playbooks of the NFL teams featured in the game. For our playbooks, I would say to Frank, go find out what a team's 5 signature plays are, Hawkins told ESPN. He would go up to the assistant coaches, hand them paper, and they would draw up plays. We collected a huge amount of plays that way. Well, if you're only getting 5 plays from each team, then that's not a realistic representation of what teams do. I mean, teams do far more than their top 5 plays, and that's been one of my biggest issues with Madden for a long time, is that pretty much every single playbook is 99% the same outside of 5 to 10 unique plays that each team has, which is totally unrealistic. These teams all run things slightly differently. The plays operate slightly differently in each playbook, and these teams have a massive amount of plays that are unique to them and unique to what they do. And you can't customize any of that stuff. You can't draw up your own plays like you used to be able to. You can't really run any type of a unique offense. Ultimately, Madden comes down to what are the 5 most broken plays that you can run all game long, and I see Twitter threads about it all the time. What's your go-to play in Madden? And everybody's just listing the 5 same cheese plays that they run all day long and the 1 or 2 hot routes and adjustments that they make to the game to make it super overpowered and uncoverable. horrible. So it's super interesting to see the contrast between, if it wasn't a real football game, I didn't want my name on it, but now Madden 23, we're going to put John Madden on all 3 covers of the game and profit off of the passing of John Madden and still sell an unrealistic game that seems like he wouldn't have wanted his likeness to actually be represented on this game. And to be honest with you, it seems like there's a reason at a certain point that they stopped putting Madden on the cover. Madden probably didn't want to be as associated with the game anymore. He wanted to be on to other things in his career. He's talked about that before, and therefore we got the player covers, which everybody knows and loves, but ultimately what it signifies is that the game just simply isn't realistic. It isn't authentic football anymore, unfortunately. Now, there's a lot of authentic football concepts within it, but the dedication needed to be there from the team in order to make it authentic, in order to justify Madden being on the cover, and in order for him to partner with the game. And unfortunately, we've diverged extremely far away from that. And realistically, I mean, we come back to the notes of what they're actually adding to this game. We've already talked about the hit everything engine, which is not really anything new for us. I'm hoping that it gets implemented well, but my hopes are minimal on that. The biggest push that they're making this year is the skill-based passing system, which again, they're repackaging something that's been in the game before. It's crazy that they take something out of the game and they reintroduce it. If we go back to the Madden NFL 18 trailer, we get the same exact stuff. I mean, you can see right here, new target passing within the game. You can see right here, we're leading the receiver. We're placing a specific icon in a direction and a place where we want to place the football. This is exactly what we are getting here in Madden 23. And again, it's retweaked, and they've modified it to look a little bit different and maybe a little bit more professional or a little bit more football like, but we're getting the same stuff that we had packaged in Madden 18. Why in Madden 23 are we seeing the same stuff being repackaged again as something that's trying to get us to buy into this game as a new mechanic, when in reality the game, as I've heard from the beta, is much like Madden 22. It's very much the same game, and a lot of people are going to be playing without this feature whatsoever. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts down in the comments section below. We're getting all of the same stuff. It's like they repackage the same stuff year after year, and we end up getting no actual substance from it. And to be honest with you, it's kind of sad whenever you take a look at that in comparison. You take a look at the game and what we're getting in comparison to what the expectation was from John Madden here. He said, if it wasn't real football, I didn't want my name on it. If he was going to appear on the cover, it had to be as authentic as possible. So why is Madden not giving us a more authentic football experience? I want to know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and I want to know your feelings on this. How are you feeling about Madden 23? Are you potentially not going to buy it? Are you holding out? I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I would like to hear your thoughts on this in the comment section below as well. And I've been asking this question elsewhere. Is it even worth it for me to buy Madden 23 this year? Like, I love giving you guys a review. I love giving you guys tips and tricks so that I can help you guys succeed in franchise mode and help you guys succeed as players within the game. But to be honest with you, I hated Madden 22. I don't have a fun time playing the game. And if a lot of the issues that I've had questions on aren't being addressed, which they're not. I've asked the questions to people that have had access to the beta, and I still haven't gotten my beta code, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I've been told essentially that it's very much the same game with a couple of new features. So is it worth it for me to buy the game? Do you guys want to see me buy the game? Would you guys like to see me boycott the game and play something else? That's the trouble, is what else are we going to play then come August timeframe whenever the game comes out? So I don't know. I have mixed feelings on this right now. I'm expecting more information to come out from them, and I hope to get some valuable information. Maybe there's some stuff that they're withholding from us, but I really don't think they are. From what I've heard, Madden 22, Madden 23 are pretty similar, and honestly, if it may only be worth it to buy the game if you're on next gen, because they're still doing old gen version of the game, which is probably going to be a carbon copy from Madden 22 to Madden 23. So interesting to see this information and compare it against John Madden's actual thoughts on the video game. Let me know your thoughts, like I said, in the comment section below. Leave a like on the video, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a good one.